What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. We got one on the chat. I'll let it load. I am taking a road trip, so I want you guys to share that with me for a little bit as we talk about boxing news. And the hot topic is, of course, Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. Of course, he is the guy that had the upset, lost to Alexander Povetkin. They put these earbuds in so you guys can hear me and suppress the outside noise of the world. There we go. Mic check 212. JP, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. First one on the chat. 3 in the chat. We'll let it load. But, man, it's been a hell of a weekend. From Dillian Whyte to Sean Porter, to Babbitt, to Winters, to Taylor, to Pursoon. We've had a lot of good fights, you know. And I want to talk about Dillian Whyte because Dillian Whyte, it's roasting time for him. You know, so the question is, do you really think it's valid Dillian Whyte to be roasted the way that he is roasted? Because certain people say certain things about him. And all right, we're back on the chat. Technical difficulties. Of course, you're going through smaller towns. That's what you expect. But back to Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte was upset. It wasn't upset because he was the one favorite to win. He was a younger fighter. I'm not sure if he had the better resume because Alexander Povetkin has been in there with Vladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua. He's upset a lot of fighters himself. When you guys come in, hit the like button for me. That notifies everyone that the video is on live. Povetkin, he's crafty. He's been in there. He's knocked out some game guys. And he knocked out another one. You know, and it just kind of reminds me of a guy. He's dazed. What is it? It was the 22nd, right? His birthday is like 10 days from that time. Lady Chan, counterpunch to you, baby. What's happening? I got mad with love for Dillian Whyte, but he is far by the least respectful fighter and the most vocal. But I hope he wins the rematch. Yeah, Dillian Whyte does have a voice on him, you know, but I think that in fighting stiff competition is what made Dillian Whyte. You know, Dillian Whyte wasn't the guy that ducked guys. He fought all those guys. So look, let's look at it this way. Sosa, Whyte is a dog. I like that. He is a dog. He gets down nitty and gritty. He doesn't give a shit who likes him. He doesn't care what he says about another fighter. He called Anthony Joshua a lanky piece of shit. You guys remember? You know what I mean? And that just came from there. I don't think that was staged. He was just like, yo, I'm talking about that. Let's see what Dillian was easily winning the fight. He just lost concentration, fell asleep for a split second. It happens. It does. You know, and I think he let off the gas a little bit. You know, and if I was him, I would be frustrated. But that should be a very big lesson to learn, okay, in the future. If you're with a guy that's a puncher, Povetkin's a puncher, guys. It ain't like the motherfucker can't punch. And it's the heavyweight division. You have to respect that. Cruces. Hey there, Kurt. Hope you're having a great day. Man, I'm having a fantastic day. We from Brixton. We don't give up. Rematch. D. Stewart, counterpunch to you. Sosa. Shut up. Povetkin set that up to a T. Oh, look. There's nothing that you can take away from Povetkin. If Povetkin would have done that shit against Anthony Joshua, okay, so be it. But him hitting Joshua and him hitting Whyte are two different things. But you do have a 2 year younger Povetkin doing that to Joshua. So I'm just going to leave that there. Let you guys do with it what you want and what you will. Pacer, salute, brother. It happens, bang on. Brian Lynn. That's a true statement, you know. We know it happened. We know it can happen. It can happen to any fighter. It can. You know, unless you just, you know, known to have a granite chin or have the reputation for not out, but eventually someone can come around and put your lights out. No doubt about it. Counterpunch from Madrid. Counterpunch to you. Aladayo. Counterpunch to you from Madrid. I hope everything is well over there. Roy. Counterpunch to you, brother. Fun Life. Hello. Dillian Whyte did actually attract attention to his self by slating everybody, though. Well, he did. He did. You know, you remember Dillian Whyte when he knocked out, I think it wasn't Chisora, it was somebody else. I forget who he knocked out. I think it was Lucas Brown. And he was like, I'm ready! Let's go, baby! Oh, shit. Kurt, I will put your lights out, bro. Okay, CJ. That could go two ways, though, sir. After the fight, you got to realize the credit that Joshua deserves, bearing in mind he fought a younger and faster, absolutely, younger and faster Povetkin, and Povetkin threw hooks all night. And look, I don't think Povetkin slowed down, because I did that fight not too long ago, a couple months ago, and I did it live. And Povetkin, he did some good work in there. He really did. CJ. Okay, Kurt, I'm going to knock you out, bro. Okay. We'll see. We need to give credit to AJ for the Povetkin win, because AJ Povetkin beats best punch. AJ took Povetkin's best punch. Yeah. I just now, you know what? I know a lot of people want to see the rematch. And I know Dillian sure as hell wants a rematch, but I'm always big about new fights, fresh fights. You know, every time two different people get in a ring that know nothing of each other, it's all experimental. It's all experimental. So what? Man, he's real. That's how we are in London. We back our talk. We say what we see, and that's that. LOL. It's a London vibe. Okay, I heard that. Well, that's definitely Dillian Whyte, because he's going to definitely say what's on his mind. Brian Lenz. Appreciate you, brother. I will keep doing exactly that. The other ones, Fury, Ruiz, Wilder, Parker, and even the likes of Dubois are mostly facing cab drivers and easy fights. Cruz is 33. Well, you know, it's like this. Dillian Whyte's doing stuff that a lot of fighters are not normally doing. You know, beating undefeated fighters is a big deal. You're the first to do it. You'll be the only one to do it. Okay? That's real. And if you keep doing it, eventually somebody's going to knock you out. I mean, if you stay in there and if you keep at a certain level and you keep fighting these top dudes, or you keep fighting these guys that have a reputation that, hey, you shouldn't do that, that's a bad fight for you, or just with the right type of style, you know, it's a puzzle piece. You're going to get knocked out. You're going to lose. Zeros 2-time. What's up, brother? Just dropped you a link on Instagram. Wilder is fit and healthy, it seems. No excuses for trilogy. That's good. That's real good. That's very positive. Because I don't care for Wilder to say, well, hey, it's very seldom that a fighter comes into the ring 100%. Like, meaning like something has to always be wrong with a fighter coming into the ring. Now, I'm sure there's, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, like, shit, you got a hangnail or like, you know, you got a stubbed toe or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about injuries, true injuries. So if you're injured in any kind of way, you shouldn't be fighting. So if he looks good, that's great. That means that possibly he can redeem himself in the Tyson Fury fight and get something back that he's had for a very long time. I still believe Whyte is top 5 regardless. I mean, he should be top 5. I mean, Povetkin is one of those guys that he's only been beaten twice. He's got beat by Vladimir Klitschko. He's been beaten by Anthony Joshua. Okay, so that should tell you enough about Povetkin. 22nd of November. He's playing about with Desert Eagle and 50 cal sniper rifles. No injuries and fully recovered. Yeah, that's good. Deontay Wilder, he has a lot of guns, man. He rides bikes and scuba dives and shit. Yeah, you know. Can you imagine going to Deontay Wilder's house and like fucking with him? You know what I mean? You know, he pulls a big hand cannon out on you. I can see that shit, you know. You see the hand cannon before you see him. You see the hole of the barrel, and then you see him in the backdrop like this. You know what I mean? So it's more like that, you know? What you want. But I mean, you're in the South. You need guns. I know. You gotta, you know, you need guns in the South. I don't know about the rest of the U.S. of A., but in the South, I'm pretty sure in other parts, but you need guns. Fun life. Nice one, Kurt. I reckon if Dillian learns to keep his right hand up in Povetkin rematch, he wins. You know, and here's the thing. That fight, if they fight 5 times, you'll probably have 5 different outcomes. He'll probably knock Povetkin out. Povetkin might come back in the 3rd fight and knock him out. Dillian might get him in the 4th, and he might get him in the 5th, but that's no guarantee. Because if we've seen one punch can do it all, and we know Povetkin can throw one punch and land that one punch and get Dillian Whyte out of there. So Dillian Whyte's objective now, and he knows his kryptonite. He should have known it. If he would have read my videos, he should have just said, you know what? Kurt DeVille is right. I got to watch motherfuckers and stop people from hitting me with an uppercut. Because when they do, they either knock me out or they drop me. It's either one or the other. He's been down 3 times against uppercuts. Now, I'm not saying total in his career. I'm saying the 3 times that he got hit with an uppercut, what happened? Either 1 or 2 things happened. He got dropped or he was knocked out. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad because he's been knocked out twice by an uppercut. Oscar Rivas hit him with a left uppercut. And because of that left uppercut, he was down. Okay? He got up, he recovered. But when Joshua hit him, you seen his eyes. That dude's eye, he had the crazy eyes. What's your take on Joshua Pulev? Joshua Pulev. Anthony Joshua and Pulev is going to be a good fight. You know, there's a lot riding on that fight. There's a lot of vested interest in that fight. You know, Pulev is not going to be easy like people think he's going to be. Can Joshua get the knockout? Maybe. But trying to duplicate what Vladimir Klitschko done can be fatal. Okay? But mind you, Vladimir Klitschko fought that kid like, he ain't a kid. Shit, he's like my age. So he's fought that guy at like, 5 years ago? The blueprint is in the uppercut. Where does the Ducte go after Fury beats him for the 3rd time? He fights everybody else. He don't go nowhere. Mike Brown. Deontay Wilder don't go nowhere if he loses again. He stays and fights. That's what he does. He stays and fights. Let's just hope they don't make another fucking big ass conspiracy surrounding him. That's what I hope for. If he loses, he just takes the loss, you know, and continues fighting. I don't care if he fires every trainer that he had. Start all over again, whatever, but don't quit. That's what he does. He keeps fighting. The one-hitter uppercut is 100 going to make people think twice about fighting a 40-year-old one. Look, Zorro's 2-time. They should have knew that shit fucking with George Foreman. Look at Michael Moore. Michael Moore was winning every round until he got knocked out, and that happens. It absolutely happens. He said that shot would have knocked a horse out, mate. Yeah. He didn't need to knock out a horse. He just needed to knock out a dog, and that's Dillian Whyte. The criticism of Dillian's character is unfair, as Ruiz and Tyson came for him first, calling him a peasant, a liar, etc. Well, you know, I just dropped a video about Andy Ruiz. I think he kind of went out of his way to talk shit, but Dillian Whyte was talking shit at him. They were talking shit at each other, but I don't know. I just have a different theory on those type. Check out that video. That video was, you know, I put some time into it, thought about it, thought about Ruiz, thought about Dillian Whyte, thought about the negotiations that happened but was supposed to not happen, some shit like that, you know. But AJ will delete Usyk. Oh, I don't know. Lady Chan, I don't know. That's some bold shit. We got 100 people on the chat. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I hope Dillian Whyte wins the rematch. Well, let me share something with you guys, and I don't want to upset anyone, but fuck it. Here it goes. Dillian Whyte wins the rematch with Povetkin. What guarantees that he'll have the same position that he had before he got knocked out by Povetkin? Now just think about, think hard what I said about that type of shit. All right? What makes you think that? Oh, we got a super chat. The truth hurts 18. People put too much emphasis on keeping that 0. The UFC is better in that respect, because if a guy is entertaining, they keep getting booked. Win or lose, I hope boxing learns from this. The truth 18, that shit is 100% spot on. Great counterpunch. Thank you for the super chat, but what you said made a whole lot of sense. Look, people, I don't know if it was Mayweather. I don't know, you know, maybe he started some shit that, you know what I mean? Like, even though he's not even fighting no more, he started some shit in boxing that probably shouldn't have ever been taken to that level. Because boxing isn't about how many times you lose, it's about how many times you win. Are you entertaining? You know, I think a lot of people put emphasis on money, but then again, they're the ones that's going in there for our entertainment. So I can see both sides of the equation, but you have to ask yourself, why is UFC the way it is? D-Town Blaster, what's up, brother? Thank you for the super chat. Everything's good. Hope everything is good on your end. He wins the diamond belt if he beats Povetkin. Okay, he gets the WBC diamond belt. Now let me ask you, is the WBC diamond belt, is it worth someone else chasing? And you know what? I know this is what happened. Mauricio Sulaiman implemented the diamond belt because he knew that there was a good chance that they were going to fuck over Whyte anyway. So they might as well give Whyte another trinket of a belt to kind of pacify him and not going after them. So, hey, we're going to make you're the WBC interim champion. You're the mandatory fighter, or you was, to fight the winner out of Wilder versus Fury. So I think they did a lot of things and set a lot of things in play for that. So if he gets the diamond belt back, who would want to go after that diamond belt? Would it be worth anything? Because it was just created. Even though he beats Povetkin, it's exchanged hands from Povetkin from Povetkin to Whyte, because Whyte never owned it. Povetkin won it, but who else would want it? That's the question. Okay, AJ will cash out against Fury. Hearn knows Usyk beats him. Well, I don't know. Like, Usyk is one of those guys that I am so very interested in seeing him fight someone. I mean, not Chisora. I mean, someone. Chisora is a good step. He is, because Chisora is going to come to knock you out. But I mean, somebody with some punching power, somebody with a little more speed, somebody that's a lot bigger. You know what I mean? I want to see that. I want to see that happen. All the greatest heavyweights have lost fights, to be fair. That is correct. I haven't saw one that didn't lose. The only person I see that didn't lose was Ika Barabuchi, but he only had 20 fights before he lost his freaking mind. I don't believe AJ will fight Usyk. Mike Brown, I hope he does. Fake JP account in here. Fury will beat AJ. Wow. It's crazy people make fake accounts. Yeah, AJ is technically sound boxer, mate. Tyson's techers can be questioned. He slaps a lot, let's not forget that. Yeah, he does throw a lot of those punches like that, You remember the time Tyson Fury punched himself? You guys remember that? He punched himself. That was funny. Whyte wins the rematch in December. He puts the heat back on the mandatory defense. I think, if anything, it derails him, Tony. I think it derails him, because then the WBC will say, well, he lost, so that suspended his mandatory, or they'll probably give it to him, but they'll do some shit like they'll push it back. Orlando Garcia, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. AJ lost to Savon. Yeah, Savon. I mean, he's a classic Cuban fighter, though. I mean, what do? It's the amateurs. You get beat by a Cuban amateur. Like, damn near who hasn't? You know what I mean? So, okay. God of War. If you fight top guys, you'll get beat eventually. That's why Wilder and Fury take the easy route, cherry pick, and every 5 years, a real fight. You know what? I can rock with that. I mean, both of those guys' resumes has been questionable, to say the least, honestly. So I think it's one of those things where Dillian Whyte has made his name after being an absolute dog. Okay, we have a super chat. Junior, Mauji Junior, best boxing channel. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the super chat also. You got to take chances. You do have to take chances, but then I think it's not enough boxers taking chances. And let me go back to Ruiz for a minute. I mean, this is grinding my gears about Ruiz. Ruiz is so happy. If I'm Ruiz, why don't I have the same energy or reaction as Jarrell Miller did when Anthony Joshua lost? Let's look at that. Think about it. Because if I'm Andy Ruiz and I had an opportunity to fight Dillian Whyte, right? Or I had any intention on fighting Dillian Whyte, or the plan was to fight Dillian Whyte, why am I so fucking happy? Can somebody answer that question? I mean, why am I so happy about Dillian Whyte getting knocked out? Like, it seems to me that should have been something that I could have done instead of a 41-year-old man. I could have got that credit. I beat Joshua. I lost to Joshua. Then I go beat Whyte. I damn near beat all of Matchroom. Or I beat the best fighters in Matchroom. Like, why doesn't, like, that's taking risk. That's making a legacy for yourself. Fighting the fights that people want to see. Not the shit he was doing. I'm sorry. So him being happy, he's just like kind of low-key sidelining. You know what I mean? PBC fighters energy. That's what the shit it looks like. Put it this way. Let's say Terrence Crawford in his next fight gets beat. And the first thing Errol Spence does is, yeah, I told you he was trash. I'd have beat him anyway. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, little, he ain't did nothing at welterweight. He ain't did nothing. Right? Texas all day by way of New York. Like, why would you be, you know what I mean? If that happened, why would Errol Spence be happy about that? Because that was the fight that everybody wanted to see. That's the money fight. Unless they had no intentions of wanting to fight in the first place. That's why they're so happy. They're in fact relieved it didn't happen. No one is taking risks like Whyte. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Making examples of how Whyte got knocked out by Povetkin. You know? But believe it or not, if the politics are out of the way, I think we will see better fights. Yeah. You know, happy to be off the hook. Hella Bella, 247. Damn right. That's what it seems to me. Like they're happy to get off the hook in some shape, form, or fashion because it was pressure from the fans. It was pressure from other fighters. It was pressure from other promoters to get a certain fight done. And for whatever reason, the fight didn't happen. Well, when one of those fighters get beat, the other fighter gets happy? I don't know. If I'm Andy Ruiz, I wouldn't be that happy that Dillian Whyte lost because I could have proved myself when I get with the Reynosos and show how good I am, train beside Canelo, you know what I mean? And, work on my craft, work on my fucking weight, learn certain vital things by cutting off the fucking ring. Those type of things. Those are the fighters that I would go after if I'm Andy Ruiz, if I wasn't ready for a fight. But happy because Dillian Whyte lost? No, that's my opportunity. That somebody else took my opportunity. I do wish there were more heavyweight fights. I do too. What do you guys think about that Queensberry matchroom stuff? Now, let's be honest. Whyte took the fight thinking it was going to be a layup and got dropped. Well, Povetkin, based on his last performance, because that was basing his performance on. The only thing I gave Povetkin is experience and the uppercut. Because Povetkin, he has the experience. He's been in there with Joshua. And if he's able to hit Joshua, he's able to hit Whyte. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? He wasn't able to hit Klitschko because Klitschko knew, I'm not going to let this fucking bully pit Russian motherfucker come up and land those shots on me. He might knock me out. That's why Klitschko, he kept him at bay with his jab, and every so often, he popped his ass with the right hand, and when smart or safe, he would throw the left hook. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I thought Dillian Whyte would win because if you look at that, if you were a betting man, you would see 32 compared to 41, right? A guy that ain't lost in 5 years, Whyte, fought all the hard, stiff competition, Whyte. Even though Povetkin, he's had his, not calling his record trash, but, he's been in there with Whyte, Klitschko, Joshua. That by itself speaks volumes. Only has 2 losses. It's a scary thing. It was a good matchup. You know, it's not like, Povetkin. Now, if I was a promoter, I would think maybe Povetkin's lost a couple steps since the Joshua fight, because if that Povetkin that fought Joshua would have fought Hunter, let's look at that. I think he would have knocked Hunter out. He would have got Hunter out of there. Hunter had only one loss, and that's to Usyk, and that was at cruiserweight. But now he's fighting at heavyweight, and he hurt Povetkin, but he didn't have the firepower to get Povetkin out of there, right? And I know Povetkin was trying to survive. He did survive, but that's the point. He shouldn't have survived. So I think maybe Eddie Hearn looked at that like, okay, Povetkin has a good punch, great record, great resume, great amateur background. Let's get him in there. But unfortunately, that was the wrong person to get in there. He did enough to edge Hunter. Well, I think what ended up happening when that fight, Povetkin just ran out of gas. He just got tired. And I don't think it was really Hunter was hurting him. I think Hunter was starting to throw punches at him because he got his attention with one shot on top of exhaustion. That happens. That can happen easily. A lot of times you lose a fight. If you guys, any of you guys sparred in the ring or fought in the ring, and you fuck around and get tired, it's hard to hold your hands up. I think Hunter won. Good. So you got one person on the chat saying, I think Hunter won. Then you got another fighter on there that's saying, I think Povetkin did enough to edge it. So, saying and knowing what we know, who's my favorite heavyweight? I mean, active heavyweight. I like Dubois. I think he's the sleeping giant. He doesn't talk too much. He's been in there. He's sparred everybody. He's going to be that guy, I feel. Usyk, I want to see what Usyk can do at heavyweight. Here's the thing about me. I'm not really big on, I like power punches because I respect the heavyweight division because all it takes is one punch, obviously. But I like people with skill. The idea of someone like Usyk going up to the heavyweight division, beating these guys off his size, his speed, and his skill, his ring IQ, and avoiding those big shots, that knowing any one shot lands can knock you out, but he's able to go 12 rounds or how many other rounds he goes and defeat these guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's what impresses me. Fighting people that if I get hit with this motherfucker, I'm done. Like when Roy Jones fought John the Quiet Man Ruiz. That was a special night of boxing. Because Roy Jones wasn't a fucking heavyweight. Yeah, he packed on muscle, but he wasn't a heavyweight. Okay? Price is a glass cannon. Price KO was nasty. Yeah, he knocked KO the fuck out. He knocked Price the fuck out with a KO. He did. He did that. Frank J. You know what? I have no idea. I have no idea what the prediction is with Anthony Joshua because I'm not for certain what type of fighter that's going to come in the ring. Because he was boxing last time. Will he be a little hybrid of a fighter versus Slash Destroyer? Will he be that guy? Now, this is what I will say. Based on Anthony Joshua's take on Dillian Whyte, and he asked where was his maximum violence, he better be that guy. Because if he goes in like Klitschko, like he did Andy Ruiz, and just boxes to a victory, a lot of people can say the same thing about him. Like, dude, did you lose your killer instinct? Did Andy Ruiz take it from you when you fought in America? Did that really happen to you? Because you're not that same dude. And people are going to ride that. They're going to exploit that fact. Like, Joshua went in there and boxed this motherfucker 12 rounds. Well, maybe Joshua seen something about Pulev he didn't like. So he said, hey, okay, I'm not going to engage and do something stupid. I'm gonna play Mayweather safe, and I'll box this motherfucker and get paid. But when you do things like that, What does people and what do the fans think of that? That's they're gonna take and critique that or criticize that, however you want to spell it, stench or smell, the way they want to. As skillful as Usyk is, I don't think he is big enough. He is the same height as Andy Ruiz. No, he's not. Truth hurts 18. Andy Ruiz's ass, man. That dude ain't 6'2", bro. I'm 6'2", and I know I got him. Usyk is 6'4". Ricky Torre. Great, transparent channel. Wilder on a milk cart. Where are you? You know, look, he's actually said some things. Thank you for the super chat, Ricky. But he's actually said some things. He said that, what did he say anyway? Yeah, he did. You know, he said something about Whyte. It wasn't a lot, though. You know, and I got another video to drop on that. What do you think of Hearn throwing Hrgovic versus Dubois in the mix? You think it's a great fight? That could be a good fight. It could be. I got to watch more on Hrgovic, though. Whyte looks 6'2". Well, you know something? I can't argue with that. Because you look at the face-off. Those guys look like they're the same height, man. Povetkin and Whyte, they look the same height. They looked exactly the same height. An eye for an eye in Russia. Yeah, he did. Nah. Can you see an upset with AJ against Pulev? It could happen. You know, it could happen. Will it happen? I don't think so. Because again, it's going to be a good fight, though. Because Pulev's a tricky motherfucker. You look, he has a straight jab. Okay? But so does Joshua. Joshua respects the jab. So it's going to be one of those fights that it may be boring until someone gets clipped. I see that fight going that way. I don't see, you know, these guys just going blow for blow. No. It's not going to be a blow for blow type fight. Then if it does, I'll be surprised. I will really be surprised if that happens. Wilder's good for boxing, even though I think he's a racist. I don't know. I don't know about Wilder says a lot of things that, you know, some things make sense, some things don't. To me, I think he's very opinionated, but I think Wilder he has a backing of a certain type of demographic. You know, the urban / the urban communities follow him because he has a trend. You know, I could see. I don't know why Wilder doesn't have like endorsements with FUBU, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Timberland, things like that. He should be well grounded and known with those guys, well acquainted with those type of guys. You know, Bellew was winning against Pulev before Bellew got tired and got tired. Well, Bellew gave him a good go. He did. He countered when times were. He hit Usyk at times, but it wasn't the type of punches that could hurt Usyk. Because Usyk defense was so... Usyk's a very cautious fighter. You know, he practices his craft of defense. That's what's going to make him successful in the heavyweight division, I feel. Andy Ruiz versus Derek Chisora. Oh, God, I don't know. You know, I want to know if Derek Chisora has the power to hurt Andy. Because, you know, Andy don't have a neck, man. You don't have a neck. Hard to knock somebody out because, you know, you get hit, neck tweaks, and, you know, well, if you don't have one, it's kind of hard to do so. You know, Chisora versus Ruiz. One thing's apparent. We're going to see who's going to win. It's not going to go the distance. He doesn't have a neck. I'm sorry. Roy, I'm sorry, he doesn't. I mean, he's kind of either like you have head, then you have shoulders and back and shit. You don't have a neck attached to that. It's kind of like, let's take away the neck and just put this head on his shoulders. So, in other words, he has a good chin. That's what I'm trying to say. He has a very good chin. You know, but that just means Anthony Joshua has a very good fucking hook, because Ruiz had taken a lot of punches from a lot of fighters, and he wasn't fazed by it like that. 5'11", deep fridge. Look, Andy Ruiz is not 6'2", bro. He might be 6 foot. You know what I mean? If he was 6'2", he wouldn't be looking up at Joshua like that. No. Joshua's 6'5". Usyk's 6'4". You know, so yeah, I mean, Usyk ain't short like people think he is. He's just not a big guy. Ruiz should be fighting everybody with that Homer Simpson chin. Oh man. Scance Rants. Wilder's excuse making LDBC fans keep Wilder relevant. I don't know what excuse was that. Joshua's 6'6". Oh, okay. He's 6'6" then. What's up, Big Kurt? Carlos. Whyte needs to jab and foot movement. Let his hands go. The feint. Carlos, what's up, brother? I'm actually on 35 right now, man. I'm coming through. I'm either in Waco or about to be in Waco, actually. So I don't know what you got going. Have you got riots going on where you are? No, true talk, I don't. But I'm traveling, so if there are riots, I'm traveling on the interstate. I don't know. Love from Ireland, brother. Keep up the good work. Is that Thailand smile? Thank you for the compliment. I will try my best. Graham Taylor. Haters like you keep Wilder relevant. Whyte got flatlined and you talking about Wilder. What? Oh, okay. I don't even know where that. All right. Ruiz can eat a 6-foot pile of pizza. Blowing on Ruiz like that, man. Kurt, what's up? You think Wilder Fury fight will happen? Yeah, I think it will. It's going to happen now anyways, because now we don't have to worry about Whyte. And I think Whyte was the major obstacle in that fight being made. I do feel that. I do feel that, definitely. Is Ruiz versus Areola actually happening? That's some trash. I hope it doesn't. He's supposed to fight Manuel Char. He's the WBA regular heavyweight champion. A guy that ain't fought in fucking years, people. So, you know, it ain't like a big deal, but it's better than Chris Areola, to say the least. Tune Atari. Wow. Do you think he looks like Ram Man? I don't know who Ram Man is. Kurt, why do people always claim Wilder is being hated on? I don't know. I think the fans that would think that, because I think Wilder, it's almost like this. If you're not talking, if you're not boasting about Wilder, you're against Wilder. We got 188 on the chat. Let's get 188 likes. Let's do that. Let's get it up there. But honestly, I think if you come with something subjective about Wilder, you're a hater by default. You can't do that with Wilder. You got to respect his gangster. Because if you don't, you're a hater. And if you hating and you're black, you're a coon. You're a Sambo. You're everything else but a fan of boxing. Ruiz versus Joe Joyce would be different. It would. And I'd give it to actually Ruiz in that case. Because Joe Joyce, he's slow, but he's tall, but he likes to exchange. That's all wrong for someone like Ruiz. That has fast hands like that, yeah. Your honest opinion, Kurt, you think Whyte will get a chance to fight Fury if he wins the rematch against Povetkin, or is his loss already cost him that chance? One for all, plus Ultra. You know what? I think it's over for Whyte, honestly. It's not over. He should do some smart shit. And I do agree with Frank Warren on this. Even though the contract was shitty with fighting Joshua, he should know by now, fucking with the WBC and the PBC and Al Heyman or Bob Arum with the WBC and ESPN. That's not the route to take. I think Whyte should have took the more familiar route. Because it's not like Anthony Joshua wouldn't fight him. And it's not like Eddie Hearn wouldn't make that fight happen. Why? Because they're both his fighters. Whoever wins, if Joshua loses, he gets a match. So it'll be a third fight with, Joshua versus Whyte. That's the legacy between the two. If Whyte loses, okay. Well, he goes back to the drawing board. He'll get some other fights out there. So I think Whyte, if he really wanted to be a heavyweight champion of the world, I would have went to be a unified heavyweight champion of the world by fighting a guy that I beat in the amateurs, and his name is Anthony Joshua. I don't think he should have ran after Deontay Wilder after sticking around that long anyway, expecting things to change. And for that reason, I think Dillian Whyte is actually insane. There, I said it. Love your interview with Spencer Farron. Let him talk. Great. Oh, yeah. The knowledge. Oh, yeah. You have to respect knowledge coming at you. You have to have a receptive ear for knowledge coming at you. It's not all about what you know. It's all about what someone else can teach you as well, and you guys can learn together. You know what I mean? And elaborate. Will Tyson and Junior still happen? Because Junior threatened to pull out. I don't know who the hell is Junior. I don't know who that is. I get the Ram Man reference. That's funny. Joe Joyce would drop Ruiz in 9 rounds, I think. Oh, okay. I don't think so, but okay. It would be a hell of a thing if he did. But, I think Ruiz was just spoiled by the money that he received. He knows I ain't going to never get that type of money ever again in my life. I hope he invested that shit well. Because he will never, ever get that type of money. Ever in his life. It's like, Ruiz reminds me of one of those actors that made it big off like 1 or 2 good films. And then after that, that was his claim to fame. And that shit's over. You might see him. You'll see him in other films. But they ain't going to never be as big as those films that he was in. The sequel where he, that was his big check. And then they had, the first film and then the second film. And then the first film was Anthony Joshua, part 1. The second film was Anthony Joshua, part 2. And he was the villain in the film, so he died. So that's it. You know what I mean? So that's what I think about. Tony Barlett. What's up, Kurt? And the chat, hit the like button and support the channel. Absolutely. Toby. That's a good counterpunch. Everybody hit the like button for me. Dubois will beat Joyce anyway. Well, I think Dubois will beat Joyce. I would be surprised if Joyce beats him. Hell no, Kurt. Joe all the way, bro. Ignore these idiots. There's one race, and that's the human race. We are talking about boxing. Yes, we are. That's absolutely true. Charles Martin comeback, you think he's going to make a splash? I think he will. I think he will make a splash. I would like to see him, look, if Wilder loses his next fight, I want him to fight Martin. I think Martin versus Wilder would be a very entertaining fight. And I don't know why the hell it ain't happened already. I think that would be a very good fight, honestly. So, Kurt, you gonna do YouTube memberships? Yeah, I will. I'll create that when I get a little time, because I have to. I'm headed to location now, so yeah, I definitely will. Showbiz is doing it. Hell yeah, Showbiz is off the chain. I like his work. I like the energy that he has. He's just, you know, Lake Waco. I think I'm in Waco, Texas now. I think I'm coming into Waco. Oh, Roy Jones Jr. Okay, yeah. Nah. Roy Jones ain't going nowhere. He's gonna take that fight. You know, because I think with those guys at that age, I don't think they have another opportunity like that to fight each other. They missed it once, and I think it's going to happen this time. Frank Warren is bitter. Actually, I think Frank Warren is better now. Ibrahim, I think he's better now. He looks about 10 years younger since Whyte has took the canvas. Okay? Why did Charles Martin not blame the crown and gown for his loss? Because he got knocked the fuck out. Joshua hit Martin so fast and hard that Joshua didn't really know where he is, and I know what that's from. When you get hit in your dome, in your cranium, okay, that's a cerebral blow. It delays everything. He was looking at the ref. You see, he was looking up at the motherfucker, but then it wasn't registering him that, hey, motherfucker, you got to get up, until it was too late. You know, was he knocked out like Whyte was? No. But he was hit to a point that he never been hit like that. And it was like, damn. And he was, I think the first knockdown, he was stunned, surprised. And the second one, he was actually hurt. But both of them, it was like he was in shock. Like, what the fuck did just happen to me? You know, a southpaw getting caught with a right like that. Yeah. Especially a counter right hand. Yeah, that took a lot out of that kid. So that's why he didn't, Joe. When you get knocked out like that, you don't deserve to be in a ring like at that level. Okay. Well, I wouldn't agree on that. Dillian was Fury's coke dealer. Damn. I don't think Whyte is finished for that fact. And Fury and Ruiz complete ducked him, so they know that he brings something to the table. Well, here's the thing. Nobody really likes to get beat by the loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially Ruiz. You think about Ruiz, if he fought Dillian Whyte and lost to Dillian Whyte now, that makes Povetkin over him. If you know what I mean? That puts him and Povetkin in the same category. And Povetkin is 41 years old. You know, because people are remembering Dillian Whyte getting knocked out. So if the guy that got knocked out beats you, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for your resume or your ego. That's my counterpunch on that. Fury and Wilder are cherry pickers. Well, Those guys are just safe. Then they do a lot of shit like a lot of other fighters do, man. Dillian Whyte is an anomaly. That's why he's where he's at. Ruiz is a contender for the worst heavyweight champion in history. Yeah, look, he can't beat Charles Martin though. Charles Martin won his shit from an injury. Is AJ Fury the biggest heavyweight fight since Ali versus Frazier? It's a pretty big fight. Ali versus Frazier, though? No, because those two guys were undefeated at the time. You know, they were both undefeated at the time. That shit happened in 71, Madison Square Garden. Muhammad Ali was undefeated. He hadn't fought in like 3.5 years or so. Joe Frazier was also undefeated. He was the guy that stepped in when they stripped the belt from Ali, because Ali didn't want to go to war, and didn't want to, go to Vietnam and all that. So, yeah, they stripped him. And Frazier stepped in, became champion. And they fought. Now, this fight at this time, there are some parallels, some great comparisons between both of those guys. Definitely Fury and Ali and Fury. Then Frazier and Joshua. Because Frazier wasn't really a shit talker. He was a mild-mannered guy. He had a family. And believe it or not, if you guys don't know backstory about Ali and Frazier, Frazier used to give Ali money when Ali didn't have any fucking money because he wasn't fighting. See, and then when Ali did get the opportunity to fight when his license was renewed, he started talking a lot of shit and selling the fight about Frazier. Well, that was affecting Frazier's children. It was also another underlining factor since it was the 60s. Frazier was a Christian. Muhammad Ali was with the Nation of Islam. So you had a divide between black people at that time. So that was a whole nother issue. So it was, definitely some comparisons between the two. But Frazier, I couldn't really see Frazier being Joshua, but they do have some attributes, and I don't mean stylistically. I mean, the things they did out of the ring. We got 185 on the chat. Let's get 185 likes. Who remembers when Barry Hearn after Martin, when said no heavyweight goes past 3 rounds with Joshua? He hasn't KO'd a heavyweight in 3 rounds since. Well, that's Barry. People are going to say shit to hype up other fighters, especially after knocking somebody out. That's going to happen. Let's see. What's what? Roger Ferrer interview. He said that he's got a. Get past this traffic real quick. I'm in the beautiful city of Waco. Carlos Valencia. What's up, brother? I don't know if you're still on the chat. I know you live close to here. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Well, Spencer has the knowledge and understand something about Dillian Whyte. And he'll be the first one to tell you he's a work in progress. So the vet can doing that. It's like, damn, it is an upset. Don't get me wrong, because It's unexpected, you know. But I knew that shit wouldn't go in no 12 rounds. Not with those two guys. No, that was the thing that made it rather interesting, because Whyte taking on Pulev. Pulev is coming at you. But Pulev is not like a Pedro Angulo. You know what I mean? He's not nothing like that. Alfredo. He's nothing like Alfredo Angulo. You know, he has some style to it. He has a tricky style to his arsenal. Like how he delivers punches. Kurt, aren't you tired of people like Tyson Fury who never take the risk that Dillian Whyte taking, and when he loses, they'd be happy? Well, maybe they're happy because they're happy because they glad they didn't do that shit. Maybe that's the case. Dubois could beat Whyte. I think Dubois could beat Whyte, but I question if that fight ever happens anyway. I think that's a fight that would only benefit Frank Warren, because Frank Warren knows there's a young, hungry, strong fighter. He's 22 years old. Dillian Whyte's 10 years, his senior. No. Dillian Whyte's well accomplished over Daniel Dubois. Dubois is just a contender, and he's just really starting, from novice to contender to that level. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that fight would be made, Dillian gets respect from me anyway. Technical madman. I feel bad for Dillian Whyte. You can only play the cards that you are dealt in life, and he has had a shit run. I mean, he's the resistance. He's still the resistance. You know what I mean? He's going to be that guy that it's going to be one of those situations where people write him off and then he'll end up knocking someone out. But I think people will only want to fight Dillian Whyte when they think they can beat Dillian Whyte, when they think Dillian Whyte's done, when they think he's over the hill, when they think he's low-hanging fruit, when they think that man is more subject to or vulnerable to being beat. He ain't got a chin, because that's going to go around now. Oh, he's chinny. He's a bum. He wouldn't shit anyway. Ha ha ha. Right? So, it is what it is. Charles Martin is spent. What about the YouTube memberships all about? Well, you can become a member to a certain channel. It's another way to support the channel. Zombie Joyce is the worst fighter out there. He ain't that bad. I mean, he ain't the best by far, though. That's so early, Josh. I'm not doing anything. Daniel, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Fury needs to be consistent and stop taking warm-up fights. JP, you're absolutely right. He needs to stop that shit. I actually haven't really said anything bad about Fury. Same stuff you say about Wilder, I say about Whyte and AJ. You're just a hypocrite. Scance rants and Zaros 2 times. You guys go blow for blow. You guys need to get in the ring. So you not even. Okay, guys. Love Smoking Joe, rest in peace. Buddy Gunner. Absolutely. God bless the dead. He was a hell of a man. Can't see Wilder's lack of top opposition and only fighting Ortiz and Fury, then I don't know what to say. What boxing is missing now is the mindset of wanting to be the undisputed champion of whatever weight division. Too much politics involved, all about the money and not boxing. Higher level than we see how good Huey is. Okay. D-Town blasted Kurt. Do you blame Wilder or his handlers for not fighting credible opposition? He claims to be the best, but stated he wants low-risk reward fights. Low-risk, high-reward fights. Well, I think what happened with, shout out to D-Town Blaster for the super chat. I think what happened to Wilder is he was protected for a while, and I think he got accustomed and complacent with that. And that complacency became stagnant. And when you become stagnant with your opposition, you'll fight damn near anybody because no one's making you do anything. You know, but you can't really blame, I mean, you can blame him, but if I was going to go after anybody, I would go after the people that managed him. He just had piss poor management. He should have been able to get a Klitschko fight way back in the gap. That's fact. You know, ask yourself this question. In 2015, what didn't Fury have that Deontay Wilder did have? Like, what gave Tyson Fury the privilege to fight Vladimir Klitschko over Deontay Wilder? I'm going to answer that question for you. Nothing. The difference is Tyson Fury's handlers, Tyson Fury himself wanted that fight. I'm not sure what Deontay Wilder wanted. Deontay Wilder just did what his management told him to do. Okay, so Whyte get those titles back this year, Joshua fight year. Graham Taylor, if they mention Wilder, why can't I mention Whyte? What's more relevant, getting flatline or twerking? Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, forget about that twerking thing. Big up Counterpunch. What's happening? Ricky Bobby, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Huey's one fan in the chat. He's probably Huey in disguise. That does make you wonder how many times people come on here. Zero's 2-time. He's just come to cry wolf. I give him enough patience every time and he just don't listen. Doesn't add anything good to the live. Yeah, you guys go blow for blow. I know that much. Shout out from London. Les Reed. Why is Wilder so quiet at the moment when Fury wants to fight this year? Any reason you think? Is it because maybe they won't be able to generate money because of no live gate? I don't give a shit about the money, and they shouldn't give a shit about the money either at this point. He needs his belt back. He needs his dignity back. He needs his nuts back. He needs everything back. That's why he's quiet. I mean, it's something that was taken from him. His dignity, his pride, his reputation, his fucking belt. You know, he made some money, but, you know, he's supposed to make a statement. He's supposed to make Tyson Fury an African-American trivia question. So, yeah, it's bad on him. So, I mean, I think he's quiet because of that. Wilder got power, but please, man, sort your boxing skills out now. I was at the fight, Luke. It was one of the most boring fights ever. Wilder is quiet because he knows he's not got to do his talking in the ring. He knows he has to. Yeah, he does. I got a workout, sheesh. And if I don't stop watching now, I won't do it. Catch you later. Okay, baby, catch you later. Get that workout in. Get it done. Don't let me be a distraction. Only an addition. Do you think, JD, do you think Dillian Whyte will come out more aggressive in the rematch? I don't know. That's a good question. It might be a little apprehensiveness because he knows this motherfucker can knock me the fuck out. So I got to be careful. But then again, that might just fuel the fire to like, you know what? I need to land my left hook. Matt, Counterpunch from Canada. Counterpunch to you, brother. Nah, it's all good. Just guys just keep going toe to toe. That's what it's about. You know, everybody's not going to agree. You know. And you start doing some shit like, hey, man, catch me outside. How about that? That type of shit. Well, okay, well, you know. Maximum violence. Daniel Jordan. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Antonio Matthews. What do you think if Smith Jr. versus Better Beef match? Ooh. That would be massive. I would really like to see that. Really, I would. Joshua Tree. Greetings, Kurt. Don King was still ruling the heavyweight division. We would have seen most of the mega fights already. He wasn't a good man, but as promoter, he knew what the fans wanted to see, like Ali versus Persian. Hey, I can't argue with you on that. Love from Jerusalem. Darth Pavetkin rules. Sim from Dim Moon. What did you think of Babbitt? I think Babbitt did a good job. I think he's going to be an exciting fighter. He'll get knocked out by somebody with some power though, and with some technique. But I think that he won't be I think he'll be a very entertaining heavyweight to say the least. And he's not the biggest guy in the world either. But he's hungry. I would love to see him try. Honestly. Arthur beats anyone. Absolute wrecking ball. No one wants his smoke. Yeah, Arthur Betterbeef those cats over there are just strong, man. Tiger Russian uppercut. D-Walt. Bro, keep your eyes on the road. Stay blessed, stay safe. Keeping it 100. Oh, I will absolutely. You know, it's a coast on the interstate though. You know what I mean? You just got to stay clear of traffic. Just cruising. D-Town Blaster. It's funny how the WBC is corrupt. Now they aren't protecting the ex-champ. Yet a few months ago they were the most prestigious and all that. Yeah, it's crazy with a couple bad decisions the sanctioning body makes to be completely corrupt. You know, and then you start connecting to dots to all the other shit they've done in the past. That's why media is so important, because you lie, man, and you say something, all the people got to do is research the shit. You know, D-Town Blaster, thank you for the super chat, brother. Cruising. Yeah, I'm just cruising, man. Cruising middle lane. Past Waco, 20, 30 miles past Waco. Heading into Dallas, I think. How do you rate Hunter and Usyk? I got to see them both at heavyweight. It's hard to say about Hunter and Usyk. But Hunter's in a good position right now. He is, because he tied with the guy that knocked out Whyte, which was the top guy at the WBC rankings. And about the second guy in the division, right? On Ring Magazine. We Be Crooks, James Toney. James Toney was a dangerous shit-talking guy himself. What's that guy's name, that trainer? He used to train John the Quiet Man Ruiz. I think it was Andrew Silverman, I think it was. And James Toney was like, that dude was talking. I mean, the guy was a real trash mouth. You know, Norman Stone. There you go. James Foster, Counterpunch to you. I know it was something like Norman Stone. That motherfucker was hell. I never did nothing to this guy, you fucking prick. I'll fucking get your ass. James Toney was like, hey, you old motherfucker, You say one more motherfucking word to me, I'm gonna whoop your motherfucker and I'm gonna knock your old ass out. Come on, you prick. And James Toney was really gonna hurt that guy. Like, could have shut down that whole, because I know that was when he fought John the Quiet Man Ruiz back in the day. I wonder if that guy's still alive, Norman Stone. James Foster, you give me some intel on that? Skrilla50, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. James Toney was wicked, had wicked defense. You know what, Buddy Gunner? He did, but it's crazy. He's punch drunk now. So, you know, wow. I had Katie Taylor losing a fight. You're not alone. You're not alone with that. Hey, Kurt, checking on in from the UK. Good coverage. You called it with the uppercut. Appreciate you, brother. I mean, the uppercut, man, that's his kryptonite. People should know that, understand that. And I think more importantly, Xavier Miller should know that. He should know that they should focus on uppercuts as much as anything. That's the one punch you know don't get fucking hit with by Povetkin. Bolo punch. You know how, Kurt, how you doing? From Nigeria. Thoughts on Katie Taylor? She impresses you? Yeah, she's pretty good. But I think fighters like Pursoon will always give her problems just for the aggressiveness, the height, etc. Ooh, Ika Barabucci did that bolo punch against Chris Bird. Yeah, he knocked Chris Bird the fuck out. And you know something? That was 5 rounds too. James Foster, that was actually 5 in the 5th round. He knocked him out. What the hell is this? Is this rain? Is this rain? I don't see anything, but it's maybe some debris or something. Was it a mistake for Dillian Whyte to try and box smart against a more technical fighter instead of going for the kill? You know what? I think in some cases you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, JD. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened with Dillian Whyte could have happened to anybody, but it was specially made for Dillian Whyte. I think what Dillian Whyte knows now, hey, this motherfucker knocked me out with an uppercut, but I know I can hurt this guy with a left hook. But understand something. Even when Dillian Whyte does the same thing he did before, if he decides to have that killer instinct or that maximum violence or whatever, and he tries to implement that on Povetkin in the rematch, I think he's going to do that with caution, knowing that uppercut can happen, knowing that left hook can happen, knowing that looping sneaky right ass hand, that he has like a counter right, and he throws it over your jab. It's very impressive. D-Town Blaster, I'm in Dallas. Let's grab a beer. Where in Dallas are you, D-Town Blaster? Yeah, there was foam coming out of the mouth of Bird's mouth. He was arguing with the ref. He didn't even know what hit him. Hell no, he didn't know what hit him. Fucking Ika Barabucci hit him. Knocked his ass out. And Chris Bird was very underrated, but the guy was just super bad. He was badass. Rain sounds like Kurt is flying above the clouds. Yeah, I know, right? But I heard something like rain. It could have been hail or some shit like that. Which I hope not. That's crazy. That'll fuck up your car big time. Counterpunch London. Big up. Coverage always, Kurt. Do you think Dillian would beat Wilder if they fought? I think it's a numbers game, honestly, at this point. I think Dillian Whyte knows how to beat Wilder. I think a lot of fighters knew how to beat Wilder. It's just someone that actually finally done it, and we've seen it done now. You know? But all in all, back to Dillian, I mean, see, Wilder, I think, is faster than Dillian. Technically, White's better. But I think the speed will matter in that. And then who lands first. And see, here's the thing about Whyte versus Wilder. That's not the type of fight that Whyte had against Povetkin. He was able to chop on the inside. Do you see when he hit him with that left uppercut and dropped Povetkin? I thought Povetkin was done then. I honestly did. Because I was like, okay, that's the second knockdown. This shit's about to be over quickly. But it was over quickly in the next round. But it's not the way we thought it was going to go. So, inside fighting, Dillian Whyte is better. But honestly, besides getting Wilder on the ropes and putting shots together, what other opportunities do you have with getting that type of punch out on Wilder? Because Wilder is very good at fighting tall. So it's going to be difficult. And he's going to have that right cocked. If you notice, you've even seen Wilder. He cocks it. And he just sits there with it. And he jabs. And he sits there waiting for that one punch. It's some chess playing type shit. You know what I mean? Tua Barabucci fight was insane. Hundreds of bombs, no clinching, no one dropped. Yeah, that shit was crazy. That was Tua's first loss too. So he gave David Tua his first loss and Chris Bird his first loss. You know, and that dude was just breaking barriers, dude. He was kicking ass. You know? It's a blueprint laid out for how to beat Deontay Wilder. Deontay isn't capable of changing his style. So, you know, we'll see what he can do, Skrilla. We'll see. We'll see what he does in the rematch. You know? I don't think other fighters will have the class Fury had against Wilder. He's very technically skilled. Others still will have a handful and still fear him, rightfully so. He is still lightning. Yeah, you know, a lot of people think he can't punch. Well, shit. You think Wilder can't punch, get hit by him. And then draw your conclusion from that. You know what I mean? So, is that Bird who Klitschko beat? Yep. Chris Bird. From Michigan, I believe. I believe he's from Michigan. I honestly don't think Dillian Whyte can beat Wilder. Well, Dr. Hazard, ask yourself this question. If Dillian Whyte would have beat Povetkin, would you still have that mindset? Would you still think that? That's a question you ask yourself. Because a lot of people like to jump off the bandwagon once someone loses to a whole different fighter. And then compare that to another fighter and draw their conclusion. You can't do that. Well, I'll tell you what, Scants Rants. Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury would be very interesting because Dillian Whyte's not afraid of Tyson Fury. You know? I really want to see that fight. Styles make fights. Antonio Matthews, absolutely. Tyson Fury will KO Joshua in 7 rounds. If that shit happened in 7 rounds, that would be 7, 7, and 7, wouldn't it? Joshua loses in 7. Deontay Wilder loses in 7. Joshua loses again in 7. So it'd be like 7 would be that magic sweet spot round that everything went down. After a loss, it takes 2 to 4 wins for people to forget and get back where you were. Yeah, that's true. Fury beat Wilder. I said they will rematch, and I still stand by this. Great chat, Chris UK. I think Wilder right hand is overrated now that he has been exposed by Fury. Well, Fury beats him. We'll never know that until he goes in there with other fighters and fight other fighters. Because again, he's fought a motherfucker 3 times. Come on, man. 3 fucking times in 2 years? Well, actually 3 if they, 2 if they fight this year. You know, it didn't span out 2 years. Memory has come back. Being brave doesn't mean much. Fury will snipe Whyte just like he did Chisora. Do you think Wilder versus Fury is going to happen this year? I think so. I think it will happen this year. I think it will happen this year. It will happen. Why are people acting like Joshua when he was champ? Is it? Man, I'm not really sure. I think a lot of people just question fighters from other countries. I don't know. I don't know what that's about either. Usyk schools Chisora. Well, CPB won. We have to see. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Got to get some gas and all that good stuff. It's been fun chatting with everybody on the chat. You've all been counterpunched. I will come soon with another date to go live and we can do it all again. But everybody here, you've all been counterpunched and have a great day. Stay safe. Peace.